All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. All right, the classic lineup of Styx. If they're going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, this is the lineup that should be inducted, with all apologies to Ricky Phillips and Glenn Burtnick and Todd Sucherman and, Lawrence Gowan. Lawrence, I'm sure, has already been inducted into the Canadian Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or whatever it's called up there. My friend will from Toronto, he'll let me know. This is the picture. This is it. Tommy Shaw looking like he's 17 years old. JY in the middle because he's the tallest, and apparently he's taking charge of the situation. Dennis DeYoung looking very sinister in 70s. Here's the deal with Styx, all right? Styx should just be honest, the current lineup, and say, you know what? We've made up a lot of different stories about Dennis. Dennis doesn't like to work. Okay, that's one of them. Number two, Dennis doesn't like to tour, which is kind of the same thing, but he doesn't like to work. He doesn't like to tour. He doesn't want to tour all that much, and we do. Dennis has been on tour off and on, for quite some time. Dennis isn't a team player, okay? Dennis helped break the band up by making us all do Rubato. And Rubato was such a monster flop with guys who have high testosterone levels that that was it. We were done. It was rebellion time. We couldn't wait for the next album to come out. The narrative that these guys put forth isn't the narrative that actually happened. Tommy Shaw walked off a stage, and that was it. The other guys in the group said, hey, we need to replace this guy so we can continue. That's the story. Dennis has told the story. Nobody from Team Styx has refuted that. And it's kind of weird. In 1990, they're all getting ready to get back together again. Tommy is with the damn Yankees, and so guess what happens? Styx gets together without Tommy Shaw. They get Glenn Burtnick. They put out an album. It does fairly well, but not as well as the record label would like, although it does spawn a top 3 hit called Show Me the Way. So not a bad little trick at that point, 6-7 years after the supposed Rubato debacle, a song that the band now has to play faithfully because a t-shirt vendor suggested that they play it, and then, they said okay because fans want to hear it. Fans do like to hear hit songs, guys. They would like to hear The Best of Times. They would like to hear Don't Let It End. And God forbid, if you played Babe, now, you can't have Lawrence Gowan singing Babe. That just isn't right. I don't even think Lawrence Gowan should sing Lady, quite honestly, because it's the same kind of personal song that Dennis wrote. I mean, I have a list of songs that Styx probably shouldn't perform anymore. And by the way, these guys are really happy with their current music. They're really happy with the Mission. They should just go out, play the Mission from start to finish, and then go back and play selected Tommy Shaw and JY songs. The Grand Illusion, I don't know if you play that. I mean, that's quintessential Dennis. Dennis had a theme, a writing theme throughout his career, and you can see it even on his latest work. It's called 26 East. Dennis is still on point. These guys are writing songs about, theoretical trips into outer space, which is cool and fine. If they ever do go to Mars, I'm sure they're going to use that album maybe as a soundtrack. And I think they're banking on that. But, the way the country and the world is going right now, we're probably not going to send anyone to Mars. Of course, maybe Mars is COVID free. Could be free of COVID-19 up in Mars. Don't know. Might be a good place to end up. So, again, if they're being honest, they could just say, look, we don't like this guy. We just don't like him. We don't get along with him. He's too much of a perfectionist, which I think he is. We want to write these sort of rock songs that he doesn't want to write, even though his album seemed to indicate that he doesn't shun the idea of rock. I mean, I spoke to Jim Peterick about this not too long ago. And he said, yeah, we wanted to do both rockers and ballads the way Styx actually was when these guys in this lineup were all together. Sounds like a good plan, right? But, you know, these guys in Styx, they are really hell-bent on rewriting history. We get that. But when they go out and do interviews, they might want to just say, look, Dennis is just a great overall musician, but we just don't like him. And just leave it there. We just don't like the guy. Just be honest, because the other things just don't fly. The whole he doesn't want to work, he's not a team player, you know, not enough testosterone, he broke up the band. He didn't break up the band. You had one member walk off a stage, and that was not Dennis DeYoung. Really simple, really easy to follow along with. The reason I'm doing this video is because I get fed up when I read stuff that just isn't true. I mean, go ask Dennis, okay? Go ask Dennis DeYoung these questions, and he will answer them. He's answered them in the past. He's just trying to stick up for, you know, his reputation and these narratives that continue to go out there. And by the way, all these guys have to do, they won't be in the same dressing rooms. They won't fly on the same planes, probably. And if they do, you know, Dennis can fly in coach, and they can be in first class, and they don't have to see each other. They don't have to have a whole lot of contact with Dennis DeYoung, other than when they get on the stage and they start performing these songs, they play them with some level of enthusiasm. That is, if we have a concert industry moving forward, if they ever got back together and performed these songs live, that's all they'd have to do. They might have to do a couple of rehearsals together. They don't have to hang out together. They don't have to go to the bar. They don't have to hang out. They don't have to eat dinner together. All they got to do is do a few concerts so the fans can kind of reminisce and be nostalgic about the good old days. And people, by the way, I think it would be a very well received that these guys were willing to make up with Dennis just for the tour, and then they can both go their merry way. You know, Dennis, I think, will probably retire. Styx, they want to conquer the galaxy and write songs about planets and asteroids and, you know, the Milky Way and solar systems all over the place. So they've got a long career ahead. And even though I think JY is getting a little long in the tooth himself, and Chuck as well, who only makes guest appearances, Styx can just, you know, retool. You know, they can reverse engineer their band and just have other guys in there. I mean, you got Ricky Phillips and you got Todd Sucherman. That's a really strong rhythm section, and I'm not going to lie to you, those are great players. So they could probably replace Tommy and JY and have somebody who comes into the band who actually sounds like Dennis DeYoung, and they could have a new spiffy version of Styx. So there you have it. That's my Styx video, and I'm sticking to it. Don't forget, get it? Sticking Styx? No. All right. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. And yes, for $1 a month, join Patreon. Income slump coming because of the time of year. The political season, for the most part, is over, and the advertising revenue is going down like a zeppelin, like a lead balloon. So, yeah, if you can help me out, that would be much appreciated. All right. See you soon.